Season 2 wrap-up and the future of The Mandalorian, where we get to discuss the special, where we think the series is going, and just The Mandalorian overall. But first, let's get a word from our sponsors. Hey guys, it's Surfshark. You know, we've been partnered up with them for The Mandalorian. Just letting you guys know that it is the best VPN out there. Choose the winning side. You've got unlimited devices. You've got an ad blocker. You've got whitelister, an independent audit. It's got everything.
And it's about $2 a month, and so it's an absolutely great deal. We're spending so much time on the internet right now. People are buying gifts like crazy, and so you can protect your data, which is important. Also, if you don't want to be receiving, advertisements from Google and all the different places saying like, "Hey, remember in Christmas time when you bought this? Do you want to buy another one?"
No.
You can use the VPN and make sure that your ISP and they aren't seeing that stuff.
Most importantly, don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't watch. Do the geolocation. Find it where you can actually watch it together. So, guys, the promo code is down below. Surfshark.deals/Angry Joe Show. Use that code to get that 84% off a 2-year plan with an extra 4 months for free. Thank you so much to Surfshark for partnering up with us during The Mandalorian. And, guys, check them out. Thank you so much. So I want to give a final thank you to Surfshark so much for sponsoring our series, making these possible. Click the links down below. Engage with them. Maybe consider it yourself as a thank you for them supporting us. It's actually really, really awesome to have a VPN, so consider it. And let's get into the final review. So this was kind of announced as a holiday special. Not really. It's more a part of the series called Star Wars Gallery. Where they show basically the making of Season 2. Amazing. Everybody needs to see this. If you're a big fan of The Mandalorian, I think you need to see this. It shows the passion, the effort, the know-how, the creative process, and the professionalism that goes, and the technology. Let's talk about that. That goes into these different episodes. The way they structure it is they show you, bits and pieces of the directors, the different directors. We see, let's see, Peyton Reed,
John,
Bryce
David,
Dallas Howard, Rick Famuyiwa, Robert Rodriguez, Carl Weathers. We see basically all the directors doing their thing. And I just loved it. And it's just an amazing crap. Where I talk about it's confirmation for me, because I actually never seen any of these behind the scenes stuff. I never even watched any freaking interviews with any of these guys. And I'm over here when I review Mandalorian, like, Dave Filoni gets it. Jon Favreau gets it. These guys need to be in control of Star Wars. And how do I know that? I get it through the episodes, really, right? But now to actually see them talk about it and see their process and see them giggling like kids about the time they wanted to put in McClunky into the series, and that it's just puts a huge smile on my face, and it's just confirmation that Star Wars right now, at least with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and all of the directors really involved in The Mandalorian, are in good hands. So what did you guys think about this little Star Wars gallery?
I actually love this. Like you, not just in good hands, in great hands. These are all huge fans. They grew up with Star Wars, so I feel like they know what has to be done. Like, this character's like, no, this character's wouldn't do that, and this and that. Attention to detail, everything they've done, I fucking love it. I'm like, these guys are amazing. Like, little hidden gems they knew about. I'm like, these guys get it.
Let's talk about that.
They get it. I love it.
There's a few things that were revealed. Like, for example, the bones. Yeah, so you start A New Hope, and it's C-3PO walking through the desert, and the shot scans, and you see some bones of like a snake-like creature, and they were like, that was the inspiration. That's the big creature in its prime in The Mandalorian, that dragon that they make, the Star Wars dragon, and I didn't know that. It's so cool to see that. I was like,
okay, great callback.
Yeah. What do you think?
I would watch, and I have on YouTube watched videos of people do like Japanese block carving. When someone's really passionate about something, I'll sit there and watch them do it, because you can you feed off that passion and excitement. And then So that was this. And then it's something that I also love, and so this was kind of both of those things. So I get to watch people at the top of their game that care about it, that respect it, making something that I truly love. And I mean, I love watching these kind of like making of things. And so it is wonderful to see because it's working, right? I mean, I don't know if I'd want to watch this if the shows were bad, but I mean, even then, these people are so passionate and they're making something that I truly do love, and so I loved watching it.
Yeah, it's preserving every. This was specific things that John was saying. Preserving every aspect of Star Wars that people want to see. You see, that is, and we talked about. It's great seeing them as fans. Well, you know what? Certain other people that directed the Disney Star Wars sequels were fans. They said they were fans, but they didn't do it justice.
They didn't get it.
You know, they didn't get it, and they pushed the characters in ways that wasn't quite appropriate and went against the character. And even the actors who know the characters over decades are like, "Hey, man, I'm thinking, this is
do that. That's
but they didn't want to listen, and they wanted to just do their thing." And here they were saying, "Look." Directors, and especially Rick Famuyiwa, when actors are like, "Hey, can I try this? I don't want to tell you." He's like, "Yeah, do it. Let's do it. Let's roll. Let's go. Roll. I want to see what he's got." And that kind of stuff is a part of the creative process and honestly makes for a more authentic Star Wars experience. They were talking about ice spiders from Mount Macquarie that originally were these little concept artworks that were supposed to be on Dagobah, and they never showed up. And now they get to make actually ice spiders, and they were talking about, well, we need to make our planet different looking because everybody's going to think it's Hoth. And I was like,
we did.
We did. We thought it was Hoth at first. Well, I knew it was a different planet. But most of the people, and so they try to do some eyes, and it's just cool that they're pulling from Star Wars to do Star Wars, and throughout the special, you see, like when they recreate Jabba's palace, they're like, we want to get every nook and cranny right, even the little fucking wind chimes and shit that Leia hits her head on in the original. They got it there. So that kind of attention to detail, not only just being a fan, but also kind of respecting the material. And yes, Star Wars is a place that you can push the boundaries, but there are certain things I think that other directors did, subverting expectations a little too many times. And we've talked about all this before. You can watch our previous stuff that basically ruined it for us. And these guys find the right ways to push Star Wars, like that tense little scene that Rick Famuyiwa was talking about. Of different motivations. You had Bill Burr's character, you had the Imperial officer, you had Mando, all sitting at this table, like this tense scene. And there's no action, there's no ships blowing up, there's nothing like that, but it's just as fucking engaging.
The dialogue was so good in that. So
good in that scene. And, just to see these kinds of things and to see some of these people who don't often get credit here, and that's why a big reason I'd like you to see it. People like Sam Hargrave, he's a second unit director. So backing up Jon Favreau has high praise for him, because he does his job really well. Misty, who is an actress who is a little shorter, and she plays some of the
frog lady,
the alien characters. She was Quill.
Yeah,
I had no idea there was a female up in there. I have spoken, right? But it had a different voice.
Yeah.
And the performance that she puts forth while she's wearing these things, it's really a craft.
Yeah,
and
it is.
I love the fact that they pointed out that multiple episodes, and one episode in particular, the Ice Spiders, you basically don't see a human face until like the very end when the X-Wing pilots show up. So it's like you're interacting with a puppet. You got a puppet, you got a suit, and you got a helmet, and yet you can still convey all of these emotions, and you can, create a compelling story. And my God, these people get it. John in particular, I want to give so much credit to Jon Favreau because he wrote all these. A lot of people don't realize that he's the writer. And, now and then you get to hear these cool little things like Peyton Reed. John wrote this, and there's a lot of creative space in there. So in between those things, these directors then come in and fill the spaces. For example, Robert Rodriguez was given the reveal and the return of Boba Fett, and Robert grew up with Boba Fett, one of his favorite characters. He's like, I'm gonna do this right, and so he had 4 pages of like an action, and he turned that into 9-10 minutes of on-screen action, which, if you know, is probably like 10 pages of action. Like, he kind of, blew it up, but he blew it up in the way that he knows how, and the reverence. And to see the actor playing Boba Fett, it's cool, and how he kind of
Yeah,
incorporates.
the thing I love too is like he actually filmed it with the action figures.
Oh,
So
yeah.
He's like, I actually use my own
But
action
my sons
figures.
were Boba Fett.
I was like, that's awesome. He already had those. He knows the Star Wars lore and everything, and
craft.
he had.
And so he
he
showed
showed John.
he showed John and
Like,
Dave,
those are action figures,
and they're like,
that is amazing.
are those action figures? And he's like,
Yeah, I
yes.
don't
And they're
have
like,
the
this is
crew.
amazing. And he's like, I am among my people.
Yeah.
That just made me happy. I'm like, I'm looking forward to season 3.
Yeah.
It's in great hands.
Watching the special just makes you want to watch
Yeah.
the whole season over again, and re-experience it with some of these different things. It's so odd that they called it Huckleberry. So it's Huckleberry everywhere.
Well, they don't want people to know.
Huckleberry season 2. Come on, the Huckleberry is in the style of the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I
but
know,
when-
I know it must be an inside joke or something. I'm not sure. They give code names to everything like Blue Harvest and things like that. But to actually print it out and give out merchandise as Huckleberry is such a weird thing. But it is appropriate because and to actually see Jon Favreau talk about how samurai films, westerns, and in this
lot of
one I want to
different
do a
genres,
gangster
yeah.
kind of thing, and to see John Leguizamo, who completely unrecognizable under all that makeup, giving his performance. He's like, let me try some, and he tries to give it in one way, and then John's like, well, I was thinking about like a Don Corleone, but that works great. And so just to see this creative process is fantastic. So we highly recommend that you go out and see this. Basically, I thought it was going to be its own thing, like Star Wars Mandalorian special, but apparently Star Wars Gallery had been going on during season 1. I've not seen any of those. There's 8 episodes in season 1. Doing different things like cast, practical effects. And in season 2, it's just one big one, like an hour long. So we highly recommend you go out and see that.
Longest one.
Definitely. So, you don't even really need to rate this. If I rate it, it'd be a fucking 10 out of 10 because
Oh, it's
that
great,
is
yeah.
what the series is. So let's go and let's talk about the season 2 as a whole. So in the last episode, we just rated the last episode. So now it's time to give our final verdicts of season 2 on the whole. So if you guys can talk a little bit about season 2 and how you think it compares to season 1. Do you think they ramped it up?
I think they definitely ramped it up. They really, the stakes were higher. I like season 2 a lot better. They had a bigger budget.
Definitely.
Loved it more. The season finale was great. There's still some hanging things, but I guess we're going to Boba Fett's chapter now.
Yeah.
Because that's what we saw at the end, right?
No, they're two different things. They announced that there's Mando season 3 and there is the Book of Boba Fett, which is its own little series.
Okay, so we're gonna do. which
John
one?
cleared that up.
Okay.
They're filming right now they're filming Boba Fett, and then production will start immediately after on Mandalorian season 3. So we don't really know how long Boba Fett is going to be. Maybe it's probably like a 3-episode thing, something. Just expect something like that, and then we move on to.
Okay, yeah, because the only hanging thing was like he did his whatever he was set to accomplish, but now he has a dark saber. And Bo-Katan wants it. So what's gonna happen with that? That is my
Right.
next thing. Now something's gonna happen with that following suit. So kind of, is she gonna be like, give it to me now, turn power hungry?
Yeah, Bo-Katan. Yeah, I don't know. Alex.
I think they did a fantastic job with season 2. I mean, I had some fears coming in because I was trying to explain to somebody why my aversion to Jedi within the Mandalorian universe. And it's like playing an RPG or something where we're all level 4 characters running around, we're killing bats and rats and skeletons. And then your buddy with a level 100 thing is like snapping his fingers and literally murdering God in front of you. And you're like, okay, well, there's no tension anymore because like that's in our party right now. And so I was worried about some of the potential pitfalls in having those things in. And I think they handled it perfectly. And I do mean perfectly. Dave Filoni's episode where they introduce Ahsoka is... It's probably my overall my favorite episode. I think Bill Burr's scene later on is probably my favorite scene, but like that episode I think is my favorite episode from the season. And it's people who love the same things that I love. that are really good at TV show making, filmmaking is what they're doing, and it's wonderful to watch, and I'm so excited that I didn't give up on Star Wars because we've had years of people who self-proclaimed did not really like Star Wars, making Star Wars. It's the person who was supposed to be protecting the IP and Kathleen Kennedy saying, no, just do whatever the hell you want. No plan, no direction. I don't even know who's doing the third one. And
yeah, we've heard of
I'm
it.
going to fire him. I don't like your ideas.
yeah, it's like they were so thoroughly financially, well, I guess not even that much financially punished because they still made money, but they were expecting more, right? And so they didn't make the money they thought they were going to make, and they finally put it. You know, the meme of like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, the two little elated kids playing with ATs, was one of my favorite things. And we
saw that actually
see
happen
that here.
with
And
the
so
McClunky.
yeah, so we have people here that really do love it. And, you know, they're making stuff that I want to watch. I don't always agree with them, but it still can be like a 10 out of 10 series. And I think that if I had to rate season 2 on the whole, even though not all of the episodes were 10, it is a 10.
Yeah.
Because it's a story that I'm actually more worried about season 3 now because it's like it had a definite
really
ending
hard.
point that was so satisfying.
Really
it's
hard.
it's like, do I want a third season? Of course I do.
yeah.
But it's like they did such a good job. And
So 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
And
for-
Joe, what was your rating?
10.
10 out of 10. And Alex put it perfectly. I really have nothing to add to that. That was exactly my sentiment. 10 out of 10 here. It amped up in certain ways. I know Alex was concerned. It's like, I don't want to see Jedi. I don't want Jedi to show up, and I don't want this to flow into the main Star Wars. I didn't want it to be its own thing. And ultimately, it did do what Alex didn't want it to do, but it did it so
Tastefully.
well, and it did it in a
It
tasteful way.
touched it a bit.
Touched it, and then it said, now I'm moving on. And now, you guys have to figure out what you're doing here in season 3. That is off to the side. And so even the thing that we thought that they would fuck up and do poorly, they ended up doing well. So they did the show well, and even our concerns are done well. It's so awesome. Now, I don't think I've ever felt these highs of high even when I was watching Game of Thrones. Like, I fucking love Game of Thrones, and I was hitting highs of high. And I'm just wondering, could this turn into a Game of Thrones? Because, like, I never want to see Game of Thrones ever again. Like, that's how fucking pissed off I am with that story, the TV series and
everyone
shit.
else
It just fucking ruins it. And I don't want that same thing to happen here with The Mandalorian. But I just think that Dave and John are completely different than D.B. Weiss, who you think you saw playing something in the background or something. And D.B. Weiss, was it in Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And his partner in crime,
Benioff.
Benioff. I don't think that's a possibility, but I just want to throw it out there and talk about it. Like, we don't want this series to go longer than it needs to.
Yeah, I think they're self-aware. It's like, hey, we don't want to be like the meme,
Right.
Game of Thrones. We have to do better. If we can end it, let's end it.
Yeah.
I mean, it could, being the cynic, the realist, absolutely, The Mandalorian could absolutely turn into those things. Now, the reason I don't think it's going to is, like you mentioned, it's just like the people in charge, the current people in charge, love it the way that we love it, and they probably love it more, like significantly more than we love it. I mean, those guys know so much more about.
They know way more than we do.
They
And so it's like,
That's
but
just
they
I didn't see that. That's cool.
yeah, they love and respect it to the point where I don't think that would ever happen. I just, you worry about the people in charge. It's like ultimately
Everyone, Joe.
Disney.
Don't worry, Joe. Don't worry your head.
So I don't think it will, but
So, talking about the future of the series and where we think that it's
Grogu.
going to go now. So it's 10 out of 10 for season 2.
That's great.
I do want to see a season 3. I think that it should probably end at season 3. If you're going to season 4 and 5, you're going to have a really good reason for it. Now, I don't think we've seen the last of Grogu, but I do think that, Grogu will exit the series for a little while and then maybe show up as a final bit at the end of season 3 to get that season 4. Because Disney, at the same time, is a business. They want to,
Market
keep it
this
going
thing.
as long as they can keep it going. So I do think there's going to be a season 4, and then Grogu will come back. Now, what I'm wondering is, do you think that we will see, because I didn't think we'd see Luke Skywalker. That was dumb of me to assume that it would be like Ezra or Cal Kestis or some video game. Like, I was picking every Jedi in the galaxy, and except for the most obvious choice, because I didn't think they'd do it. And they fucking did it. And where you said your favorite is the Ahsoka episode, my favorite is the Luke Skywalker episode, because it's everything that I ever wanted to see from full power Luke, doing him justice, doing him right, especially after how they treated him in the new Disney sequel trilogy. And in some way, it doesn't change what happened with this Disney sequel trilogy and fucking Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams, but it does in some way give a little bit of a consolation prize. This is, look how badass Luke was before all of this shit happens, right? So I'm like, part of me wants to see more of that. Part of me wants to see Grogu's training with Luke at the Jedi Temple. Do you think season 3 will have like this split Game of Thrones thing where it's like we're here on the Jedi Temple and we're here on the Mandalorian trying to unite Mandalore? And that's the thing. I think it's probably just going to be Mandalore reuniting the Mandalorians, and then Bo-Katan, and then a little bit of that kind of stuff, and where their place is in the galaxy, and then little bits of forming and starting the crappy ass New Order. That Moff Gideon will kind of plant the seeds and stuff, and then perhaps Admiral Thrawn, but I think they're probably saving that for Ahsoka series.
Yeah, I think if we want to see more Grogu and Luke, I think that Ahsoka series is a perfect place to kind of do it. You've got
no, I think that she's done. Like, that's the one thing that she was like in there, and she's like, no, I'm done. Moving on with Grogu. I don't think there's anything left there. They were like, Grogu is a Mandalorian thing. Grogu is gonna come back to his papa. And here's the thing, because we know what happens to Ahsoka. Well, we think we know what happens to Ahsoka because she's one of the voices at the end of the film. And if you're a voice, you died. So I think at the end of Ahsoka, we're headed for a sacrifice. She's going to like sacrifice her life. What's that for?
Or just
how is it? Or just dies of old age? Sure,
20 years?
I guess.
It's
I
like
don't
20
know.
years from now.
I have no idea how.
I don't know the timeline.
I think it's like 20 years at least.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I think Grogu isn't gonna be Grogu won't be in Ahsoka.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't saying that. I'm saying if you're going to have more Jedi's, then you lump them in the Jedi story, and it's
Not
more
in the
palatable.
Mando.
It's just even. Baby Grogu is so powerful that even Baby Grogu.
I have no idea how they're
going
to factor this in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we need more Grogu.
I think what it is they'll. Here's the only way I think they could do it that fits canon. Is technically Ahsoka's not a Jedi, okay? She's renounced the Jedi Order, so she's kind of what you call with a gray Jedi or just unaligned. And I think Grogu's going to do something similar. So while he's going to be training with Luke or something, and then Ben Solo is going to destroy the Jedi Temple, and it will be that Grogu was either off somewhere else and wasn't at that Jedi Temple, or it will be that Grogu, and what would be the reason for Grogu leaving? I think Grogu chooses to be with his father. I think he becomes the Yodelorian is what I think. Our poster that we did a year ago.
That's very wishful thinking.
Yeah,
But that would be
where
amazing.
he is basically unaligned, but he kind of aligned himself with the Mandalorian people and hangs out with his dad. Now whether that makes him not his own person and just his dad's sidekick, maybe they wouldn't do that. But I think it would be cool if, and that's how you explain The Last Jedi. Because if you're talking about The Last Jedi and The Last Jedi, and I will not be the Last Jedi, he's talking about future Jedi. But it's like, that's The Last Jedi. It's like, well, no, there's Grogu out there somewhere.
Yeah, he's a Mando.
No, there's Ahsoka out there somewhere. No, she's dead because of the Force Ghost. Like, I don't know. I really don't know how they're going to do that.
Just
but
ignore those things.
I think until they're addressed, because that's where we're going. They're addressing every single small little aspect, and they will, so that they can get their nostalgia and they can get their character points moving on.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I kind of care about is how the fuck Boba Fett got out.
We'll get that.
Well, will we get that? I don't know. I think they kind of come over it.
I'm curious.
They did show in the Star Wars holiday special series, like he was more fucked up in makeup and concepts, and they kind of toned it down so you can see more of the actor's face and stuff. They were talking about the stomach acid melting and shit, and I was like, why did you take your helmet off? I guess it fell off while he was in there, and then he put it back.
I think they already kind of figured out, all right, this is what we're going to do. It's
Yeah.
going to be stomach acid and all
There's
this cool
no-
shit. I was like, I can't wait.
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind after watching this holiday special that they already have it figured out for
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
1 or 2 or 3 years, Dave and John. The reason for that is Dave drops kind of a hint and a bomb. He's like, I wanted to do Ahsoka in season 1, but I was too scared to, and so I saved her for season 2. So we were gonna get Ahsoka in season 1, like if Dave was as reckless as some of the other directors handling Disney stuff, but he tempered. He's like, I don't want to fuck it up. I want it to be
Like, this is
the
my
right
baby,
moment. This is
right?
my
I wanna
baby.
take care of it.
So if he knew that, like he's already writing a story. He already knows that Ahsoka showed up in this little area and then went off on her own and did her own little thing. And so this is all written. So just a great time to be a Star Wars fan, and I'm really, really looking forward to
Same.
it. Just those 10 out of 10s that we were giving out, in season 2, I hope can continue in season 3.
Yeah, because the biggest argument we have is like a 9 or 10. Great place to be, regardless, right?
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, I mean, that's basically all we got for you. Just a celebration,
must-see.
a good time. After, and this is good too, because we just saw something where the craft, they fucked it up and they fucked up the characters and said
It's
that was
something they
Wonder
don't- they
Woman
don't
84
know the character.
was really bad. And yeah, so it's good to kind of reconnect with something that we know that is in good hands. And I do hope that Patty Jenkins can turn this around in Rogue Squadron, but we'll have to see. 'Cause there's 11 Star Wars shows now with Boba Fett. And some of them really, really interesting, and some of them have the potential to kind of screw it up. But we'll see as we go along here. My dark horse is Acolyte. I really want to see like this dark side stuff. I need to see dark side stuff, and I want to expand the lore by showing that side. Like the
In
Jedi
PG?
are wrong. I know, right? I think that Disney will let up. Disney Plus will start to let up on that stuff and start to show a little bit more of its darker side. At least I hope.
I hope to. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be rough. All of the people always talk about tough acts to follow, and Mandalorian season 1,
It's probably the toughest
yeah,
act
and
to
the
follow.
Mandalorian season 2, and then it's like, okay, now we have all these other Cassian Andor. Are you kidding me? Like,
No,
not
that's
exci-
not gonna
Of
work.
course,
Hell
everyone
no.
everyone involved.
That's the one
amazing.
that I know is not going to work, and I keep shitting on it. And what happens if it fucking works?
Well, then we'll be happy.
Yeah.
And you'll just, we can just go, I was wrong. But
Yeah,
it's
I was wrong.
amazing. It's like
I
a
was
great
wrong.
place, a great time to be wrong because you're happy.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be some disappointing Star Wars stuff coming
There
up.
is.
Because
Not all of them are going to be great.
not
yeah.
all of them could be 10s.
Great.
Not all of them can be the Mandalorian.
If everyone's a 10, then no one's a 10. That's how that works.
True that. All right, guys. So thank y'all so much for watching. We want to thank Surfshark so much. Click those links down below. Thank you for supporting our show. Grab yourself a VPN so you can watch anything, anywhere with that geo location and protect your private data. And a good year, a crappy year, and then Star Wars we got is good
Yeah,
good
good
right
Star
here.
Wars.
Very
Good
hopeful.
Star Wars. Hopeful for the future. This is a huge time. It is basically, when Alex said he lost hope in Star Wars, or he didn't lose hope in Star Wars. Like, I lost hope. Like, after that Rise of Skywalker, I was fucking done. I was like, anything they put out now is just gonna be crap because I have no faith in what's happening. And luckily, Dave was there and John was there, and they created something spectacular. So go watch that special. It's really, really fun. Really shows you the love, passion, and craft that goes into it. We'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye,
Hey,
guys.
guys.